I'm going to let you into a secret. I like food. Now, this may come as a surprise to many of you, but you don't get a frame and figure as manly as mine if you don't enjoy the odd cake or two, or heavens forbid, a nice juicy steak from time to time. Enjoying one's food is actually one of life's greatest pleasures. Like it or not, us human beings are hardwired to eat what we enjoy. For the most part, I do try to eat healthily and offset the times I don't with cycling and other exercise. If I'm particularly good, I even manage to lose a few kilos, but as we all know, they have a sneaky way of coming back. I've long since resigned myself to the fact that I'm never going to win this particular battle without a major change of lifestyle, but as I say, I enjoy food too much for that. Completely changing what I eat might significantly improve my power to weight ratio, but it probably wouldn't make me happy. And to be brutally honest, I shouldn't have to feel bad or guilty about that. After all, I'm not forcing anyone else to overeat or even make them eat something that they'd rather not. The current wave of fat haters and shamers has a lot to do with society and its mistaken belief that the thinner you are, the more beautiful, the more attractive and the more desirable you are. But to a certain extent, this is nothing more than a fashion, just like flared trousers and Rubik's cubes. And like most fashions, it can change. In some cultures around the world, and even in our own past, the fuller frame and figure was considered beautiful because it suggested that you were well fed and healthy. By contrast, thinner was considered unattractive because it suggested poverty and starvation. Who knows what it will be next week? I always find it strange that when I hear about the latest celebrity that's lost weight and now has the perfect ripped body, more often than not they've done it out of vanity, not because they were in danger of having a heart attack. There is no doubt that image can be very powerful, but it's not always accurate. When I tell people that I'm a cyclist, I can see that sometimes it just doesn't compute. I love it when cycling muggles say, "Yeah, but you're fat." Well, that may be the case, but I wouldn't mind betting that I've probably ridden my bike further in the last 3 days than you've ridden yours in the last 30 years. Now, I'm not stupid. Without doubt, being overweight does have significant implications on one's health. I've discussed this at length in many of my other films. But to summarise, the heavier you are, the more you run the risk of conditions such as high blood pressure, heart disease, respiratory problems and certain cancers. If, like me, you are on the heavy side, one of the biggest favours you can do for yourself is lose a few kilos and reduce those risks. While we're here though, I think I should point out that being significantly underweight also carries its own set of health issues. But losing weight is all fine and dandy if overeating was simply a question of shoving too much food down your gullet. Actually, nothing could be further from the truth. Even a lampshade with learning difficulties could tell you that people get fat because they eat too much. But the reason people eat too much is actually a symptom of something else happening, which is nearly always down to their emotions and their mental well-being, rather than because they're actually hungry or playing greedy. Linking our emotions to food is one of the things that makes us human. Who can honestly say that they've never eaten a chocolate bar because they were bored, or because they felt bad, or because they had something to celebrate? Cast your mind back to your birthday parties when you were a kid. What did your parents bring out? Well, unless you were some sort of weirdo, it wasn't salad, it was a cake. These emotional associations are very powerful and therefore difficult to break. More often than not, if you do break them, you just end up miserable because you're surviving on a diet of mung beans and dust, or at least food that might be healthy, but you just don't enjoy. We all need to be responsible for our own health and well-being. Eating healthily and sensible is vital to our physical health, but we also have an equally important obligation to feeling good and enjoying life. In an ideal world, it should be possible to do both, but unfortunately we live in the real one, complete with all of the stresses and pressures that come with it. Sadly, I don't have the secret to miracle weight loss. I only wish I did. What I will say though is that because our physical health is vitally important, and for that reason only, we should watch what we eat. But never forget that your emotional well-being and mental health is equally as important. If you enjoy the odd cake or two, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And if you don't look like a chiselled Adonis, and quite frankly, who does, you have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Worrying too much about what people think is a road I personally do not want to ride down, as it can only end in a massive pothole that will buckle both your wheels and snap your frame in two. At the end of the day, when it comes to what we look like, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Thanks for watching.